welcome to Lab 3, I guess, or Lab 4, 5, 6, or 7. What we're going to be doing for the next number of labs in a row is building on one project over and over and over again. Now, that might seem intimidating. It probably is. It probably rightfully so. Because we're going to be trying to make a game that is, it's meant to be a very, very basic game, but every time I keep on, I am trying to implement it myself, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So first of all, I want to be very clear about this. Stop whatever you like when it comes to how far you want to implement this game. It is meant to be a fun little exercise that you can play around with, you can try different things with. It does not have to be a workable game. It doesn't have to be perfect or anything along those lines. I will be providing source code for various stages of that game as we go as well. The idea of the game is it's a zombie survival game using the command line. So what you'll end up having is a bunch of enemies, originally just zombies, and you will be a player with some kind of weapon, and the zombies are running at you or walking at you, I guess, initially, and you'll just try and survive by walking around and not getting bitten by one. Then we'll add other kinds of enemies. We'll actually use that to show inheritance. So we'll make a different class of enemy called the Zombie-28, which is the zombies from 28 Days Later, the fast-running ones. You could also make vampires, you can make ghosts, you can make whatever you want. And we will look at how we get inheritance, how we get different classes, subclasses from a parent class, and what all that means. And then we'll look at polymorphism, how we can call the same function multiple different times, from depending on what the class is, what the function actually does. So if I ask for, I'll give you an example of an inheritance one. Here is a Zombie-28. Here is a symbol for Zombie-28. It's just a Z. When I ask for the symbol for zombies, it's just a Z. When I ask for the symbol for Zombie-28, let's see, here it is. It's the same function. They're both called getSymbol, but this returns an 8 to represent where it is on the screen, what it is on the screen. If we had an undead, it might be, I think, the undead class, if we have it here. getSymbol, it just returns an E for enemy, right? It could be U for undead. We could have a V for vampire, whatever the case is. They're all calling, when you take an enemy and you say getSymbol to one of the enemies, depending on what kind of enemy you have, you'll get a different symbol. That's what we're going to do with when it comes to polymorphism. We'll also be looking at how we can build up different classes, how classes can be structured. So what I have for the somewhat final version of the game is I have a game grid class, which happens to, let me show you the game grid class in full details. Here is my game grid class. It has a player. It has the bounding space for the grid that you're going to be working around. We have the grid itself that you display on the screen. We have, which you could have generated, I guess. It's a 2D array for the grid itself. We have an array of enemies, how many enemies we have, and then I have some information so I can do a model view controller approach. Oh wait, that's after Lab 7. When we look at model view controllers, we can even look at this again. This idea, this game that we're playing with, can be revisited again and again and again, but at the same time, it gets more and more convoluted as a result. So the idea is, I have a player, I have a bunch of zombies, they're going after the player. This game grid class controls everything about the game. And so I will have a draw the grid, I will have a handle user input section, and then I will have a update everybody to see who dies and what if the zombie dies from the shotgun, whatever the case is. We'll also have different weapons that we have, and we can have a weapons class and an ammo weapon subclass, and then we'll look at inheritance for that too. And so we can play with that. We can play with how the weapons class will work with polymorphism as well. My point being, even if you have nothing that shows up on the screen, even if it doesn't look like a game per se, if you're just playing with the classes and making a zombie class, a Zombie-28 class, and multiple different kinds of weapon classes, that's good enough. This is meant to be however much you want to add to this project to this series of programs, this program, however much you want to add each week, that's up to you. And depending on how much experience you have programming, it might be easier for some of you than others. And so therefore you can play with this and make more and more convoluted classes, make more and more convoluted code. That's fantastic. Pull us over when you have something that works. So let me try and run this thing here. Hopefully it's all going to work. So here's my implementation. You could have implemented it a whole bunch of different ways. So first of all, I want to point out I have, in case you're wondering, originally in the instructions for the assignments, I have things like, I'm making a weapon, and I'm saying when the constructor gets called for the weapon, here it is. I say what the position of, you're in position 1-1, the player's in position 1-1 with a katana, the player's in position 6-1 with a katana. You could have it just spit out things like this. The zombie is in this position. Here's a constructor for a zombie. It calls the parent constructor and then the child constructor, and where the position of the zombie is. You could have it just output statements like that. You could have it run through a script showing what the heck your zombie should do, right? You're not getting user input per se. You're just running through a whole bunch of scenarios. You're just saying, okay, the player's going to move there, there, and this is what we do expect. So this is what we're doing here. I have the player moving to particular positions, and the zombies are moving after the player. And hey, look, a zombie gets defeated, and the current game state is this. My program that I made, at least, also, that's just the first batch, the first series of instructions in my main method. It would be, where's main? Did I lose my main in here? I think I did. I will show you main in a second. Here's the next set, though. After I've done main, here is what most of my program ends up looking like. It's this. I have a grid of positions. I have my player right here. I have a 28 later zombie here, a 28 later zombie here, a normal zombie, and a normal zombie. So I have 4 types of zombie, 4 zombies, 2 of each type, and a player position. And I have the player weapon is a shotgun, and so I can move my player around. I could say, left, down, up, right, that sort of thing. So I'm going to say down 4. And let's also expand this so you can see what the heck I'm talking about here. My player has moved down 4 positions. I'm going to do player down 8. Notice the zombie 28s are trying to move down as fast as they can this direction. The normal zombies are slowly moving down this way. Let's do right 4. Let's see how close I'm going to get. Down 5. Oh, okay. I'm still moving away from the zombie. Down 6. Oh, okay. Down 3. Oh, I can't go any further. Oh, crap. They're catching up to me. Right 2. Okay. Now I have 2 28 later zombies running, about to bite on my head. I happen to have a shotgun, so I could use the attack, A for attack, and hopefully I'm going to kill one. I might not. Oh, I got both of them in the end. So the enemy, the zombie 28, is now in position 2-3. It was defeated. This one was also defeated because they're in range of the shotgun. All right, I'm going to just... I'm feeling cocky right now. I'm going to go up 5 and see. All right, and I'm going to up another 2, and up another 5. All right, let's see if I can take out these guys. Attack. Did it work? I'm not sure if they had enough hit points or if I was close enough. Attack. 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 Hey, I killed both of the zombies in there. They were close enough. The shotgun killed them, and now I won the survival game. Congratulations, I'm done. That's what ultimately, I would love to see the game look like that, but it doesn't have to look like that. This is just an excuse for us to look at objects and classes, which is our players, our zombies. The game itself is a class. We have an instance of this game that is running, and that instance of the game has players and zombies and a grid and a bunch of other things. After that, we're also looking at inheritance. We have different types of enemies. We have different types of weapons, and we'll use inheritance for that. And then after that, we'll be looking at polymorphism, where I can call the same thing. I don't care what kind of zombie I have here. I just say, what's your symbol? And it says what symbol it is. If it's a 28 days later zombie, it says 8. If it's a normal zombie, it says Z. But I don't care. I just have this array of zombies. I don't care what kind of zombie I have. And then after that, we're going to put it all together. Oh, we also have mover classes that allow me to abstract away how my characters are moving and how the math works, for example. I'm sure I have other stuff in here as well. I have functions that are doing absolute value and some math functions in there as well. So here's mover, here's game grid, here's undead, here's my zombie 28. There's a bunch of different things I can do here. The point is just to play around with it and see where would an object be useful, what would that object do, how do I know how to make all of this work, and sort of fitting all the pieces together is the key to this particular series of labs. What you're doing initially is you might have your initial thing have just a zombie. You don't handle user input at all. You don't even maybe show that grid. You just say, let's go all the way to the top. The zombie's at this position. I am at this position with a katana. Right? Just keep it simple. Test it out. See what works. Then from there, we'll add a new class, like a child class to zombie with a zombie 28. Make sure it works. Maybe make a parent class to the zombie class. We'll be looking at virtual functions as well. We'll be looking at abstract classes as well. We get to look and play with a lot of the different topics all in one thing. And so if you're confused with something, some topic about, we're looking at static functions. See if you can make a static function in your classes, right? Play with this. That's the whole point of this project. And I would love to see people have some kind of final product in the end or project in the end. So I will be providing this code, but I would love to see your own code for this. All right. With that, I'm going to take my leave of you. This should be hopefully a good enough example for all those labs. But if you need additional help, please reach out to me. Thanks, everyone.